Hey everyone, Florida Man here. This video is going to be a big update to let you guys know about the changing situation for myself, for the Forge, and what do we have planned next. So the biggest thing for me to tell you guys is that I am leaving. I am leaving my garage in Vinnytsia. This is for me in Vinnytsia. I'll explain why, what's happening here, what did I do here, my reasoning, and what's going to be happening next. So first off, why am I leaving Vinnytsia? Why am I leaving my workshop here? So it started, basically this is my third time in Ukraine. First time in Ukraine, I just came to see what the situation was. I met a lot of cool people. I spent a lot of time at the Forge. I built those relations there. And then basically at the end of that year, I realized like, okay, next year when I get into Ukraine, I got a garage, I have my workshop, I'm learning how to go build drones. We're gonna have this cool drone, volunteer workshop thing set up here. And I got in and we learned how to build drones. I learned how to make drones. I made some drones for a friend's unit and I worked at the Forge. I spent a lot of time in this city. I spent all summer, not most of spring, but yeah, summer, autumn, and winter here in Vinnytsia. And basically I feel like, that was my time in Vinnytsia. That was when I was, fully in Vinnytsia and I liked it. But then I kind of also realized that I didn't get out as much as I wanted to. I didn't go to other parts of Ukraine if I wanted to help out another project. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm a bit of a gypsy. I need to be moving. I need to be going around. So at times I got a bit lethargic staying here in Vinnytsia. And I was not as due diligent as I thought I could be when it came to this project of turning this into a volunteer drone shop. So I left, spent February back in the US, then I came back in this year. And my goal this year was to travel. I wanted to do stuff all over Ukraine. I wanted to help other organizations. I wanted to build relations, see what was going on in other places. And that's what I did. I got in straight from Vinnytsia, and then like on the third day in, or I think it was the second day in, I went straight to Zaporizhia, spent 2 weeks in Zaporizhia, and then I went all the way over to Lviv to meet some people, talk to them about some project ideas. Then I went down to Ivano-Frankivsk, went to the drone school, took the drone class, helped them out with some new students, went back up to Lviv, went back to Vinnytsia, straight to Zaporizhia again, all the way back up. And during that entire endeavor, I realized that I was only in my workshop for like 20 days. And I've been renting this workshop well over a year now. And I kind of realized that I'm not really doing that sort of work anymore. So I decided, what's the point of me holding this? Maybe just for storage. And kind of like the nail in the coffin, the thing that really put me to idea that, all right, I'm leaving Vinnytsia, I'm out of this place, was basically Roman. He's been mobilized. I didn't want to talk to people. I've told certain people about this, but I didn't want to make it public until we had the full outcome of the situation. But this started all the way back when I was in the drone school. I think right before I went to the drone school, right at the start of drone school, I found out that Roman got stopped at a checkpoint and they looked at his paperwork and they said that he has actually been summoned and he needs to go to the military office for mobilization. And he was actually in trouble because he was past due, but basically he was taken off it for quite some time. And then there was a new boss and then the paperwork changed and he never got a summons. He's in a village. You don't get posts like that there. So he didn't even know until like a month afterwards. So for like 2 months, pretty much, he was going to the Venitzia. Venitzia is the military branch that deals with recruitment. Venitzia, it's the mobilization. I forget what the acronym actually stands for, but territorial something something. But those are the guys that you hear about like pulling people off the street and stuff. Well, he's actually one of them now. He's one of them. He's actually he works in a neighboring city now. They're so short-staffed that they put him in as an officer. He's an officer now in Venitzia. So he's in charge of like 25 guys and he's a paper pusher pretty much. But that also means is that he cannot be a blacksmith at the Forge. He still tries. Right now he's trying a lot. And I'm going to talk to you guys about raising funds for the next thing he's going to need to be able to do what he's trying to do, but that's in a little bit. But right now, basically, he's having to go back and forth. He's commuting 70 kilometers every day, pretty much. to try to make this work. And it's not really feasible for us to bring volunteers all the way out here if they're only going to be there for, you know, he's not going to be there to utilize you. So I was very reluctant to send some volunteers over there. We had a couple of requests. I felt bad. And then, you know, we weren't sure about the outcome for some time. While I was in the school, I was thinking, well, if he's mobilized, then yeah, the forge is done. If he's not mobilized, then yeah, we can still continue on and we'll figure out whatever. He's in a weird gray zone still, so I'm just going to say it's done. And that's the problem. You figure this out longer you're in Ukraine. Sometimes there's these gray situations where, you know, people tell you to wait, and honestly, you can't wait here sometimes. You can wait for months and months. Sometimes you just got to take action. And I realized, like, all right, I can't wait. I have to make this conclusion. We're not taking volunteers anymore at the forge. And so I was like, all right, I'm not at the drone. I'm not here in my garage here to work on drones. There's no volunteer forge for people to go at. What do I do in Vinnytsia then? If I'm only here, you know, for such a short time, how do I properly utilize it? And yeah, I pretty much came to the conclusion I cannot, and it's a waste. It's a waste of my money for me to rent this place out just for storage space. It's a nice halfway point between Zaporizhia and Lviv, between like Ukraine. It is a very nice, like, centered location place. But I've come to the conclusion that, you know, it's no longer suits me, especially with what has developed in other areas. And I'm going to talk about that. So obviously, before I came here, I made a video about the drone school. I should have made a video about the drone school before I make this video, but there were some still uncertainties about the drone school, and I didn't want to make statements before, you know, I was certain about what I wanted to do with that drone school. But that's no longer the case. So what is the game plan? I'm packing up my shop here right now. I'm on my second go, and I'm moving my shop to Lviv. I'm moving to Lviv now. So I've already found a workshop. It worked out really well. We have some other volunteers I work with that I'm good friends with in Lviv. And we were talking about collaborations beforehand, and basically the stars aligned. Situations happened on their end and my situation on my end. We decided, hey, this is a good time. Let's work together. And so right now I'm actually trying to create a larger project that encompasses multiple volunteer projects and opportunities for many people in the Lviv area. It's just a better city, better access to volunteers, and not just any volunteers, lots of engineers, other people. We're going to have different types of projects going on. So if you wanted to be coming to our forge to work as a blacksmith, to help the blacksmith, or to do welding, we're going to have that for you. We're going to have that in Lviv. We're going to develop a place for people to come and utilize their skills like that. If you want to do engineering, if you have engineering skills, you want to do soldering, you want to work with drones, we're going to have something for that as well. And we're going to have some other stuff as well, but I can't say what it is yet because I'm not entirely certain at what scope and what scale and which direction we're going to take it. So yeah, I'm moving to Lviv. I've always made the joke, I always tell people the joke is, you know, I'm married to Vinnytsia, but Lviv is my mistress. Lviv is a beautiful city. It is a gorgeous city. It is, you know, part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It was beautifully developed, very Western European. I've never been to Europe really before. And so when I found the city center, all that stuff, I was breathtaken by it. It was a great place. Very different from Vinnytsia. Vinnytsia is that blue collar city, factories, all that sort of stuff. More Soviet, you know, you can meet a lot of cool, you know, not innocent, definitely not innocent, but honest, you know, sincere, hardworking people here. And too in Lviv, but you know, it's different vibes. You definitely get a different vibe. And I hate to say, you know, I don't want to be mean because I am going to be that now. I'm going to be that guy living in a very comfortable, nice city that has beautiful restaurants, beautiful architecture, and many other beautiful things there. You know, it's a really good time. And I was kind of almost like when I realized, because I realized I was moving to Lviv before I said I was moving to Lviv, because I found the workshop, I found the place that we're going to be moving into, and it kind of just hit me. It was like, I guess I'm moving to Lviv. Because originally I was thinking, I'm going to move to Ivano-Frankivsk. And yes, I'm going to be probably spending like 40% of my time, maybe 30% of my time in Ivano-Frankivsk, helping the school out, going down there to help them with whatever projects or whatever I can do to help facilitate new students, new ideas, curriculums, and maybe even teach a course or two. But pretty much I'm going to be up in Lviv at my workshop working with other people. It is just too good of a location, and I've kind of made that realization now. Originally, I wanted to bring people further east, and you know, it's pulling teeth, you know, at the rate from which I can get people to do stuff in Lviv compared to getting them out here. It's just not the same. So packing up shop, moving where, you know, fertile ground is pretty much, and we're gonna have some pretty cool stuff we're gonna be doing there. There will be more content. I'll probably be able to find people to actually edit my videos there. I won't be home alone. My time in Vinnytsia, it was, you know, it was kind of my own shop. I got to do everything on my own, and that was some good training. It's good. Also, I would say pretty much, I'm happy that I did this. I'm happy that my last year in Vinnytsia, I came here, I set up my workshop. Everything you see inside my workshop, I built myself. And I know I can do it, and I know where I failed. I know what I didn't focus enough on and what I need to do next time. So here's to the future projects in Lviv. Looking forward to seeing you guys there. And I don't think I mentioned about Roman's project yet, what Roman needs help with. No, I did not. All right, so we're not finished yet. So because of the commute for Roman, he needs a new vehicle. He's using his old Soviet, you know, junker. It's, you know, it's a horrible mileage person, and he's going 70 kilometers out to the workplace, and he's trying to head back and forth. And basically he's also talking about, you know, the barracks at that place is not good. It's not of good quality. He told me it's a nightmare trying to get sleep there. So he needs to rent a place if he's going to stay there, because sometimes they want him to stay there for 2 or 3 days straight, and then he could spend maybe 1 or 2 days at the forge and try to work it out. So he's kind of came up with the idea, is like, all right, well, how about this? Why don't I just get a van, throw a bed in it like I do mine, and then we're going to find a place that will offer us our workspace in this city that I can just set up my forge there, and I can just kind of live there pretty much. So it's a developing situation for him still. He's still not 100% sure what he's going to be able to do. One option for him he's talked about is joining Azov and being a blacksmith for Azov. We don't know yet. But what I do know is basically, you know, that's outside of my control. I have no, but what is in my control is what we're doing in Lviv. And I can say, hopefully, well, I do know by November 1st, we will have access to our facility and we can start bringing people on. So all of October, it's going to be me working out, transporting all my stuff over, collaborating with people in Lviv, getting myself rooted, getting to know the politics of Lviv. There are politics over there. That was the nice thing here. It was just Florida man in his cabin in the woods, pretty much in the Vinnytsia woods, moving to the city. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah. All right, guys, that's it for Florida man. More posts to come. I'll be showing you guys more stuff, but I just wanted to tell you what's happening, what things are changing, and what the future is going to be. All right, Florida man out.